Hi, this is Kathleen LaValle with Huntsville Tutoring Company. October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, so I thought it would be a wonderful time for me to go back and share my story about Ellie, my daughter, and some things that we have been going through in the past year to give you guys some insight into my life and insight into what life can be like with a child with dyslexia. So go all the way back till Ellie was about a year and a half. She had no words. She was not speaking at all. And I mean, she communicated with us, don't get me wrong, but there were not verbal words coming out. And this started to concern me, and so we did an early intervention evaluation. And those therapists sat in my living room, there were 4 of them, and they sat in my living room and they looked me straight in the face and said, "Clearly you are right. There is obviously an issue that she is not talking, and but she does not qualify for early intervention because of the way they do the scoring. Her receptive language was so high on that score, but her expressive was low, but it wasn't low enough for her to qualify." So at that time I decided to go private, and we decided to do speech therapy. And at the same time we did speech therapy, we also got her tubes in her ears after having multiple ear infections. And within a couple of months, she was talking and never looked back. So I guess I was hopeful at that point that that was the end of, the issues and that everything would be okay. But as she started preschool, when she was 4, she'd been in school since 18 months, but when she started preschool, we started really working on handwriting, because as you guys know, I do a lot with that with students. And so I thought, why not start it with her? And she was eager to learn, and she was excited, and she loved doing it, but man, was it hard for her. It was so hard, but we did it. And her teacher was supportive, extremely supportive, and helped reinforce the way that I was showing her how to form her letters and everything. But then we got sent home for COVID. And when we were sent home for COVID during the lockdown, her and I started working really hard together. That was her pre-K year. And she was doing really well. I was very impressed with the progress she was making, and I felt like she was doing well. And then the end of the summer hit, and we hadn't really done a lot over the summer. And I realized, we haven't done a lot. And she regressed. And so that was a red flag to me. And so I started doing some other things with her, like rhyming and just some little like games and stuff. And they were really, really hard for her. And stuff that I thought that she should be able to do, she couldn't do at all. Not even a little bit. She was clueless, but her eagerness to learn was there, and her desire and her work ethic was there, but she just could not do it. And so I pushed and got her evaluated from Kindor Learning, from Jennifer Hasser, who I had taken some classes with. And she did the evaluation, or her company did the evaluation, and then Jennifer called me that night and told me that she scored low in all of the areas they were looking at, except for her intelligence was extremely high. She was doing these vocabulary assessments, and I knew as soon as she started taking it that her vocabulary score was going to be extremely high, because at this time, even though we were having so much trouble, my mom could read her chapter books, and she can listen and she can tell you everything about the book. She uses vocabulary words correctly, and so when they were giving her this test, she was getting things right, and we were surprised. The tester was surprised, I was surprised, but I knew the score was going to be high since that part of the test was going so long. And so after getting those results back, we decided that it was time for us to get some outside help. Even though this is what I do every day, I needed that boundary, and I needed to be mom, and she needed to be my daughter and not teacher and student. And so we reached out to Kindor Learning again, and Jennifer's team got us set up, and we started doing dyslexia therapy. She did online dyslexia therapy through Kindor Learning, because I really wanted her to use that program, because that's what I was teaching. I was familiar with it, and I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. So this is her in the first month or so of tutoring. It was definitely a learning curve having a 5-year-old on the computer, but she did it. She did it before school twice a week, and we did it for several months, and I really saw a lot of progress. And her walls started to come down. She started to get more confident, and so we started being able to work together. So fast forward to now, and she is not seeing a tutor anymore, but her and I still do tutoring together at home. But for that time, for about a year or so, we really just needed that extra support, and we needed somebody else to step in and be that third party to help us out. But I just share all of this with you because trust your mom gut, trust your dad gut. And if you feel like there's something wrong, a phone call doesn't cost anything. I see so many kids that are at this age, this kindergarten, first, second age range, and it's amazing the difference that we can make at this age instead of waiting until they're much, much older and they're so behind. There's so many gaps to fill. At this age, we can set the foundation in a way that their brain, it just works. In fact, I had a student email, or a parent email me this morning and tell me that I speak her child's language, because they had been working, it was actually math, they'd been working on math facts for a while, and she was really struggling, and we did a couple of activities this week, and she said it's just really cool how it's just clicking. So I don't want you to be scared to reach out and to ask for help, because I am happy to do a phone call with you and do a quick screener if we need to, or like I said, just have a phone call and just talk about some things. And there's a lot we can learn from your child in, a 10-minute conversation. And I can learn even more from your child in just a 15, 20-minute little consultation. And I do not diagnose dyslexia, but I can send you to the places that do. And I can give you the resources that you need to get your child help, because our kids are our future, and taking the time and energy to take care of them now will make such a difference when they get older. And I'm not telling you it's easy, because it's not. There are days that I feel like I want to pull my hair out and I am frustrated, and I know what I'm doing to help her, because this is what I do. I help so many families, but when it's your own child, it's still different. But I say all of that to let you know that I hear you and I understand, and I'm right there with you. Ellie is in first grade, first quarter of first grade now, and she's doing well, but we have to work at it. It is not just easy. We can't just do the little worksheets that our teacher sends home. We have to really work on spelling words. We have to continue working on sight words and working on other things, because reading and writing is just not easy for her. But I am teaching her the tools now to be successful later on. So I hope that our story has inspired you to learn more about dyslexia if you are worried about your child, and let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.